In the annals of espionage and daring operations during World War II, few stories matched intrigue and audacity of the British plot to assassinate Adolf Hitler. Today, we're going to look at one of the most audacious plans, Operation Foxley. But first, why would the British even consider such an operation? And why did it fail? Despite being the most wanted man in the world, Hitler enjoyed a level of personal security that made him seem almost untouchable. His inner circle, known as the Vorbegleit Command, was an elite guard of 150 men, each handpicked by Hitler and trained to the point of being nearly superhuman. They were fanatically loyal, fiercely protective, and deadly with any weapon. This tight-knit unit was led by Otto Gunsch, a man who inspired both admiration and fear in equal measure. Gunsch understood his role was not just to protect Hitler, but to be an extension of the dictator's will. He lived and breathed the Nazi ideology, making him all the more dangerous. Under Gunsch's command, Hitler's personal security was a fortress on the move. They shadowed the Führer everywhere, forming an impenetrable barrier between him and any potential threat. Their presence was a constant reminder of the danger of an assassination attempt. For the British, the challenge was monumental: to get close enough to Hitler to launch a viable assassination attempt meant penetrating not only the Führer's outer circle, but his inner sanctum as well. It meant infiltrating a unit whose loyalty was as unbreakable as their training was intense. One of the most intriguing attempts was Operation Foxley, which was hatched in 1944. By this time, Hitler had retreated to his Alpine retreat at the Berghof, where he took his daily morning walk. Operation Foxley proposed sending a highly trained female sniper to take out Hitler during this routine. However, the plan was fraught with challenges. Not only did it require the highest level of skill and precision, but it also hinged on gathering intel that Hitler's routine would remain unchanged. And as it turned out, the British couldn't get close enough to Hitler to pull off the hit. As historian Richard J. Evans points out, Hitler was simply too well protected. The chances of getting close enough to fire, let alone hitting the target, were infinitesimally small. It wasn't just the danger to the sniper, but the potential consequences of a failed attempt. A botched assassination could have had serious repercussions, possibly galvanizing the Nazi leadership and the German people around the flag, or leading to brutal reprisals against the resistance. Furthermore, the war in Europe was reaching its climax, and British resources were stretched thin. Could they really justify diverting men and materials to a single high-risk mission when victory was within reach? The decision was ultimately made not to proceed with Operation Foxley, and indeed, the war in Europe ended before any further assassination attempts could be mounted. Hitler's eventual suicide in April 1945 may have denied the British a chance at capturing him alive, but it also spared them from the difficult task of bringing him to justice. The hunt was over, but the legend of the elusive, untouchable Hitler lived on. Thank you so much for watching.